Hi everyone, I'm Debbie and I'm back a couple times this week. Normally I just do once a week, but been so busy doing stuff and I thought, well, I'll just let you see what all I'm involved in doing and see my mess. I am still pricing things and making my price tags and crocheting, just tons of stuff. So I want to show you my desk, my work area, so you have an idea what I've been doing. So I'm going to turn you around because I can't get it to turn around, but this is my desk. It's a disaster, so I'm working on that. I was gonna go buy string and I forgot I have this whole box of string from when I was making cards. I'm just gonna use that. And then here's my list that I use to mark my stuff, because if I don't remember, when I make another one, I can't remember what I priced. So I keep in a notebook of all that. And I'm going to kind of straighten this up a little bit while we're talking, so I can have some room to work. And I'll show you what I'm going to get ready to package up for Alyssa's. I forgot I have lots of stuff from different craft shows, because when I was sewing and quilting, I have lots of that stuff left over, and I made keychains. These things are so popular. So now I'm going to put those in, but I have to reprice and tag them differently. And I'm going to, I hope have you heard of needle punch? It's really a lot of fun. If you haven't done it, it's a lot of fun. So I make these. These are for your cars. They're car coasters. So you put them inside your where your cup holder is. So I decided to, when I was in the markets, I could just display them across on a stand. Well, I can't do that now. So I purchased some cellophane bags, and I'm going to put them each one in there, and then put my price on them, and my tag and stuff. But I have quite a few of those and different ones. And then I don't know if you've heard of the pop something. This is for your phone, and it opens up like that. So what you do is you peel this off. This is sticky. It goes on the back of your phone, and it pops up so you can hold it with your fingers, but you can also, it'll disconnect and you can prop it up also. But people think it's broken. It's not. They just need to figure that out. But these are pop something for the phones. I have the name written down, so I need to put them in a bag. And these are punch needle. If you haven't tried punch needle, it's a lot of fun. So I've got those to do, and I have lots and lots of them. I even have some Halloween ones, and I don't know, all kinds of stuff. So so I got that, and so I have to price all those, put those in the baggies. And Miss Betsy thinks she's going to jump in that container without it tipping over. She's going to have a surprise. Let me hold on a second. I'm going to go get you what I was working on, and get your opinion. So hold on. Okay, I'm back. I'll tell you, this is what the pattern shows. And I've been working on the pattern. It's supposed to be a sea lion. Isn't that just as cute as can be? It's taken me, I worked on it all day yesterday and then just finishing up today. But this is what it really looks like. It lays down. There's no place. And then they had me, I wanted to do an all white one. So I want the muzzle to be different, but these are my sticks that hold things in place. They're actually knitting needles and they work great. But I don't like this look because it's off-white. I kind of wanted to stand out, but I think I'm gonna have to go to the white. And then the tail is sold separately. But to me, it looks like it's a prosthesis. It's like, really? This doesn't look good. I don't like it. Had to sew the tail on, which is okay, the fins and his arms. But when she lays down, she's not gonna be sitting up like this picture. Actually, what it should have done, they should have had the head separate. And that's maybe how they did it, but in the pattern, it's all one piece, the head and the body, and they don't tell you anything about if you stuff it differently to make it sit up, or it's just, I'm so disappointed in it. It doesn't make any sense. So it's big again, and it's not supposed to be that big. And I hate the tail. The tail is not good. But if I take it off, then it's a really short, and it doesn't go with the length of the body. And so I wonder if I could take that off and see if I can just, because it narrows down too, like you could add just fins and not have this big tail and not have it look like it has a prosthesis. But that's a lot of work. But I just thought of that. Maybe I can take it off and somehow put the fins on the little short stubby tail. Maybe then it'll, I don't know. It's just, there's no way it's going to look like this. No way. Not the way they've got us crocheting it as one piece. You just can't do that. So that's very frustrating. So I quit on it for a while because I had to walk away. It's just too much. But good news is that at Alyssa's, they are, my turtles are selling. All my Sea Life stuff that I put in there is gone. A lot of stuff is disappearing pretty fast. And so I'm getting a little concerned because I'm not that much of a fast crocheter, but I can add things, not just crochet items. And so I think that's what I'm going to have to do because it just kills my hand. But I made a promise to the teenagers, the youth group in our church. They have a mascot, which is a squirrel. And their squirrel is pathetic. It's pretty worn and dirty, and they asked if I would mind making them a new squirrel for their mascot. So I have to work on that, and I thought that would be fun. That's a cute one. And then fall's coming, and I want to make this, if I have time, to go in my booth. I did make a pumpkin, and I weighted it down with rocks and not those pebble things. So that I got done, but I have to put the stem and the leaf on it to make it look like it. And it's really solid. And then I had an accident in my kitchen. I'm so upset. I have the cutest little measuring spoons. And my friend Marla got them for me. See, isn't it cute? That's my tablespoon. It's a B. And they all go down size just like a regular teaspoon or a tablespoon. Or measuring spoons. And somehow I knocked it off the nail that's hanging. They were hanging on my wall. And it broke. So now I'm going to super glue it. And hopefully it's okay, because you can't see it. Once you put it up there, you can't see it's broken. So I'm hoping that will work. Then I have to, you know, my Grinch, I showed you my Grinch, Well, I have to put his nose on yet. I haven't done that. I had to warm up my glue gun, so I haven't gotten around to doing that. As you can see, I have lots to do, and just organizing. I have to cut up all my pages and pages of my price tags, and I just found out yesterday that I can use sticky price tags, which my impression was we couldn't. We had to have tags that they can take off, but they said if I didn't mind not having, you know, I sell something and it doesn't have a tear off tag, they'll just put in the amount and I won't know what it is. But some of these things, I don't care. I mean, like these keychains, but there's no place you can put a sticky and have it stay, so I'm gonna have to put tags on that. So I have to make those tags. I made a bunch of tags for my daughter. She makes epoxy pins that are really nice, and so she wanted me to put them in. So I went to Dollar Tree, and they have like a clear plastic ice bucket that kind of is low and then it goes up on the sides. And so I bought that to set them in. It looks really cute. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm thinking my cubes, I have 3 rows of cubes in my booth. Well, I'm thinking about taking the top cube off because it's taking up all my pegboard. And the whole reason why we took those boards off is so I could use my pegboard. So I'm thinking about maybe doing that and then put more stuff up on my pegboard. And I'm looking for a small wagon, little red wagon or something, just something small that I can set stuff in on the floor. So I'm kind of watching the other vendors to see if they come up with a little red wagon that they're selling to get that, or some little stools or something that I can set some of my plushies on, since I'm gonna miss those cubes. So I'm thinking about doing that. I'll probably do that this week. I'm a little nervous about taking those cubes off. If you not put those together again, they come apart really easy, but they come apart in the wrong places. So you want them to come apart just the cube that you want to take, but usually the whole line comes undone. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. But I have stuff that I can use to use the pegboard, and I have baskets that you can use on pegboards that I can put a lot of my plushies on or in, that are easier to see, because some of my shelves, my bookcase is low, and so I'm afraid they're missing some of the stuff, but I don't know if that's true or not, because all my Love Cats, they're almost all gone, and they were on the bottom shelf, and all my Sea Life, my crabs, my fish, my whale, my manatee, those are gone. So that tells me that maybe little kids are seeing them, I don't know. But so I got to get on the stick. As you see, I have to make those. Those are easy to make, and they're fairly fast. But like I said, I don't like doing multiples of things. If I can space them out, it's not so bad. But when I have to do like 3 in a row, it's too boring. I lose interest too fast. So I'm trying not to do that. And let's see, what else am I doing? Oh, I have this little elephant. He is so cute. And I tied a bow around his nose because, I'll show you, the pattern they had going like down like that, but actually it makes him look like he has a hump in his nose. You know how some people get a hump in their nose? Well, he has a hump in his nose. Well, that's not a cute elephant. So I thought, well, I'll tie a bow around it and it's not as noticeable. So I'm going, and he's real fuzzy. He's real soft and fuzzy. So some little kid's going to really like it. It's just, he's got a bump in his nose. so it looks kind of funny. But so I think I'll just work on that, put a price on him, get him ready, and I think that's about it for now. As you can see, I have plenty to do, and I can just let it run like a lot of the girls do. They just let it run. You can watch me do my work, but I feel funny doing that. But they say it's a good thing to do because some people, and I'm guilty of that, I like it just to run, to hear people talking and not necessarily have to show what they're doing, just talking. And I learn things from other people as they get ready for their blogs or their markets and stuff, and how they handle things and how they market and where they get their ideas for their for displays and stuff. And people are pretty smart, and they give you lots of good information if you just listen to it. So I'm thinking, I don't know, I feel funny. I guess I could do that. I could work on cutting my price tags up. I'm getting ready to put them in my, oh, you know, I made a bunch of them already for my needle punch car coasters. And what I did is I put the description, needle punch car coaster, $5. So now I don't have to write all that information. I'm just going to staple them right on the bag. So that's going to save me a lot of time. So I'll fold this down and staple it so they know what it is. And I think when I had the markets, I always had a sign saying car coasters, but I have them on here. And so it's a little strange that I don't mark what stuff is. You don't have to, but I don't know. I might have to. Like my keychains and my bag charms, I made a sign and put it above them. They're hanging on my pegboard, so they know what they are. They're just hanging there. Some people, and some of them are pretty good size, and they're for your backpack or your purse, not necessarily a keychain. So I marked those so they will see what they are. And then my long neck cat, my doorstop, people keep looking at her, and I put her on the floor in front of the tree, and when I come back in, she's up on the shelf. And so I made a sign saying, this is a doorstop. And so they know what the purpose is for her, because she's weighted down pretty good. And I think that's why her neck keeps growing. And that to make sure they know it's not a toy, because I had to put dowels down through her head into her neck to keep her head from flopping over, because she's got a really long neck now. And I don't want any kids playing with it and getting poked by the dowel. So I put a warning on it, and if they was going to let kids play with it, to remove the dowels, so that way they won't get poked and get hurt on them. I would hate to have anybody get hurt on anything that I make. So I do have a great, I have several things that I use to cut paper with, but this guillotine cutter is the best. That it doesn't take long. I have a nice one for when I was making cards, and it worked perfect because it's not as big and cumbersome as this is, but the guillotine will cut a couple pages at a time, versus the other one you usually only get to cut one at a time. So I'll just start cutting here. I'll show you. I'll angle it down. Somehow I'll angle you down, and hopefully you don't fall off. How can I do this? I have a thingy here. It's a thingy, and it's supposed to be for your phone, and you're supposed to be able to clip it on. Okay, Okay, I've got it clipped on. It's supposed to be able to move it down. Well, I guess I have to figure that out when I'm not recording, because that might work, but I want you to see what I'm doing. So, see, these are my, you know how the girls do it. I don't know how they do that. They have all this gizmo stuff, and I don't have any of it. And if I'm going to record, I guess I'm going to have to break down and learn how to do it right. This clippy thing. Okay, got down the clippy thing. Yeah. There. Ah, I did it. Okay, so I'm going to chop away for just a few minutes. So you see how I do my name tags. They do offer, Ulysses does offer a program that you can print out your labels and stuff, but they can't be specialized. They're just labels. And I guess I kind of want to be a little fancier. So, not a very good chopper. If you can hear kids, there's our neighbor is having a birthday party, and they have one of those big old blow-up castles in the backyard, and those kids are having a great time. It's perfect weather for it because it's been so windy here the last couple days. I would think it'd be too safe for them, but I think it's not windy today, so that worked out really good for them. Let's see here. You have to cut that page several times, so it's kind of time consuming. So I've got one. And then I have to be really careful because sometimes I cut off my one, so that's not too smart. So let's see how they look. Okay, I'm going to cut the bottom of them off. That's too much space. And it'll probably look a little bit better. And I'm going to cut the edge off a little bit more. I just keep chopping away here. None of them are the same. But it works. Let's see. I should probably trim those up a little bit. People probably don't care, but I do. I was there yesterday. It's just amazing how much stuff goes in and disappears, and next thing you know, there's a whole new booth, and they got all kinds of new stuff in it. It's just amazing the traffic that goes through Ulysses. Okay, one page, no, I'm still working on the same page. It takes a long time to do these, chopping them up. So some days when I'm not wanting to do much crocheting because my hand hurts or stuff's going on, I'll just sit here and chop away. It's a no-brainer as long as you keep the fingers out of the way. And Betsy sometimes likes to help, and that's dangerous. She's not much help, but she thinks she is. Ooh, almost got my one on that one. Okay. There they are. They're all different sizes. Not one of them matches. But people aren't going to know that. They don't care. They just want to get their goodie that they just picked out. So here's 2 more pages. You know, this became more of a, it started out as a hobby. It's now kind of turning out more than a hobby, which is okay, because what else am I going to do? I'm real busy at church. They just asked me to be their secretary for the Awanas preschool. And so I'm going to be doing that in between all this other stuff. But it's important to get the little ones involved in church and get a foundation for them. And it tells us, as parents, we are responsible to raise them in the church. So, these parents are doing what they're supposed to. So that's good. Okay, another stack. Okay. Whoops. Guess that one's going to have to do by itself because that's way skinny. Whoops. Stapler was in the way on that one. You know, being new from to Florida, I planted some plants that some bugs keep eating it, the leaves, and it's supposed to be really colorful leaves. You know, like the one was supposed to have red leaves, the other one's going to have orange and yellow, and there's some kind of a, I don't know, I can't remember. When I was looking for them, I knew the name, but the bugs are getting them. So I don't know what to do about that. I hate to put any kind of poison on my plants because my dog, I don't want him out there chewing on a leaf and killing them for eating the bugs. So I don't know. I'm not a farmer and I'm terrible. I have a black thumb. I do not have a green thumb. Never have. I've even managed to kill a cactus in my house. I overwatered it. So I can't even grow a cactus. I am not going to cut those. I think we already did those. So I'm not going to cut those. Those are for Penny's epoxy. And here's some bottle openers. Okay, I'll cut those. She made some, they're pretty cool bottle openers. They're round, they're just little round things, and you set it on top and you push down, and they pop the bottle, you know, your bottle lid off. So if you have a bottle pop, you know, the old-fashioned bottles that pop, you, that works pretty slick. But nowadays they don't have them like that. Once in a while you can find them like at Cracker Barrel or something. Just good old days. My uncle owned a gas station, and he always had one of those pop machines that was full of ice. You just reach down there in that cold pile of water and grab your Coke or your Pepsi or whatever. Those were good old days. Do you remember those days? Had an uncle that also in Iowa owned a tavern. And in Sydney, Iowa, there's always a big rodeo every year. And when Haas was alive and little Joe, they came to the rodeo, and they stopped by my uncle's bar, and a farmer was there. And Hoss and that farmer could have been identical twins. And so as a joke, they switched clothes and took pictures, and you could not tell which was who. It was pretty cool. And he was so gracious by agreeing to do all that, and just really down to earth, nice people. So I got to meet them. Then I got to meet, remember the rifleman? He was there one year, so we got to meet him. My aunt's front yard, they used as a parking lot. So, and it was, of course, walking distance from the rodeo. So a lot of the people that are there to, like Hoss and Little Joe, they would stop by and they would have coffee with them. And we just happened to be there that day, and they were there. So that was pretty cool that we got to meet the rifleman. And I just remember he was really tall. So, okay, I think I got all the bottle opener tags done. Now, I'm not sure how I'm going to get those on there because they're round, and they're not that big around. I may have to just tape them around them, and hopefully that they stay on. I don't know. What I should do is I should get my daughter to come over here. They're her pop bottle openers. She should be helping me do that. But I know she's busy. Okay, so. Okay, did I waste enough of your time? This was fun. I didn't have to do this all by myself. And Betsy decided it's nap time, so thank goodness she's leaving me alone. She's not biting my toes. So I guess I'm going to let you go because I can clean my desk up a little bit better instead of walking away from the camera. But you have a good day, and remember, always look up and go to church tomorrow. And you have a blessed day, and I will talk to you soon.